Hello, Wellness Check Wednesdays community. We wanted to take a moment to remind you that while our podcast serves as a safe space for open discussions and sharing experiences, we are not mental health experts. This podcast is a platform for you to express your thoughts, feelings, and experiences in a judgment-free zone. Our aim is to foster connection, provide support, and create a sense of community. It's crucial to acknowledge that we are not a substitute for professional mental health advice or treatment. If you or someone you know is dealing with mental health challenges, we strongly encourage seeking guidance from qualified professionals. Remember, reaching out to mental health experts can make a significant difference. If you ever feel the need, don't hesitate to connect with a licensed therapist, counselor, or healthcare professional.
This is the Wellness Check Wednesdays podcast, a share space, a judgment-free zone, a place to meet and discuss our mental health. So let's check in.
Why? Well. Here we are again on our own. This is the Wellness Check Wednesdays podcast. It's another Wednesday, and we're here once again with this open forum setting where we go on this mental health awareness journey. And we always and forever encourage each and every Wednesday and any day of the week that you need to always and forever.
Let's check in.
My name is Brian Livingston. You should be familiar with my voice, and I do apologize for the week hiatus. But life do be lifing. Hey, slang is the new way of talking, and I'm going to use it anyway. But we're here back again on this mental health awareness journey, and we took sort of the week off with the Memorial Day weekend coming up, a lot of traveling, a lot of basically remembering those who have fallen in the line of duty to protect the very freedoms that we do enjoy and love and will continue to fight for. And that is a mental health journey within itself. So to those affected, those loved ones, family members that have lost someone in combat, our heart goes out to you. And with that being said, we're going to go on this mental health journey together. We're going to travel a little bit. You know, I'm the moderator. My name is Brian Livingston, and I'm here with you. But we do have the originators of the Wellness Check Wednesdays podcast by way of Cleveland, Ohio. I introduce you, my man, Edwin Vereen.
What's up, man? Hey, I'm back like bad breath in the morning. Wasn't here last week. What else? What did I have going on last week? All kind of stuff. I think I had a meeting at the radio station to get ready for the summer, and your boy's gonna be busy. But I'm happy to be back here another Wednesday on the Wellness Check Wednesday podcast. Oh yeah, y'all don't forget rate, review, subscribe, and please share. All right.
Oh yes. And before we began recording, we did have a visit here in Fayetteville. Our other originator, my man Kevin Marshall, he stepped in to let us know that he is alive and well, and one of the busiest landscapers this side of the Mississippi here in Fayetteville, North Carolina, and he sends his regards. And so we shall continue on with episode 68. And the topic of discussion will be for this week. It is how to navigate mental health during major life transitions. And so a couple things I'd like to define when it comes to major life transitions. I mean, it's hard to define that because that's basically a personal, like, what is major to you? What is major to me? What is major to Edwin is going to be different. It's because again, our ideals, our values different from each and every person. So when it comes to major life transitions, it can be just as small as an 18-year-old kid graduating from high school, moving out of the house. It could be a college graduate stepping out to the world the first time. It could be someone joining the military, simple as that. It could be somebody shipping off to an overseas encounter. It could be so many different things, a new job, um, new relationship, moving to a new place. All kinds of different things can be considered a major life transition. And with those transitions comes various ideas, various thought processes, especially when it comes to mental health, whether the move is a good move, bad move, indifferent, unilateral, however which way that you would look at it when it
Mhm.
comes to major life transitions. We're going to dive into that a little bit further. I'm going to pass the mic over to my man Edwin as he opines a little bit further on this week's topic. Edwin, the floor is yours.
The floor is mine. I'm back. Well, anyways, all right. So yeah, so Beli mentioned about navigating mental health through major life changes. So it goes a little something like this. Life transitions, whether it's a new job, moving cities, or becoming a parent, can be thrilling, but often shape the foundations of our mental health. It's okay to feel overwhelmed. Acknowledge the uncertainty, lean into routines, and don't be afraid to ask for help. Therapy, journaling, and simply talking to a friend can anchor you. Remember, you're not failing, you're growing. Give yourself grace one day at a time. Before we dive into the article, I had a conversation with someone the other day about grace, and I was like, you know what? I was talking to my therapist. I said, you know what? I said, sometimes this is off topic real quick. I said sometimes I feel like I'm not a great friend. Sometimes I should be the friend pushing the friend, but sometimes, I would just have a little mini conflict. But she said, look, she said, continue to be the good friend that you are. Push them, motivate them to the best of your ability. So pretty much she told me just not to overthink the thing. So I'm like, 'cause sometimes I have a tendency to overthink, but my therapist, she always gets me together. All right. All right. So the article in question here is from Square Behavioral Health LLC, and it's from January 13th, 2025. Is there author to this? No, it's by Square Behavioral Health LLC that says navigating mental health challenges during major life transitions. Now, in typical Wellness Check Wednesday fashion, I'm not going to read the entire link. However, um, the entire article. However, I'm going to read certain excerpts from it, and Be Live will pin it in the description box so you can read it as well too. And it says life is a constant mix of changes and transitions, each carrying its challenges. However, major life transitions, whether positive, like a new job, or more challenging stuff like moving to a new city, are very stressful. Therefore, they significantly impact your mental health. This article aims to provide you with 10 tips to effectively navigate these mental health challenges during major life transitions. Number one, the first, of course, acknowledge your feelings. One of the most effective tips for navigating mental health challenges during major life transitions is to recognize and accept your feelings and emotions. And it tells you like the wide range of emotions you go through: anxiety, fear, sadness. It's a whole lot going on, especially like when you're moving and everything of that nature. Also, it says maintain a routine. Usually during transitions, your life can feel upended. That's why maintaining a routine is so important. It provides a sense of normalcy and control. For example, if you're moving to a new city, establish a new routine as soon as possible. Continue your morning exercise, keep your meal times consistent, or regular scheduled calls with family and friends. This continuity can be a comforting anchor amidst the change. Number three, engage in physical activity, which means I got to get my butt to the gym because I've been taking too much time off. I have a little good routine, but I'm not gonna go. And I'm like, yeah, I need to go to the gym. Stress impacts the body, therefore, you should do everything in your power to improve your physical and mental health. Luckily, one of the easiest, most efficient solutions in this case is physical activity. For example, yoga, walking, or cycling can significantly reduce anxiety and stress and boost your overall health, which is true. That as well too. Number four, seek emotional support and physical support. Transition periods are when emotional support from others can be most beneficial. So talk to friends, talk to family, or consider professional help if needed. For example, if you're going through a divorce, joining a support group can also provide comfort and advice from others will understand your situation. Sharing your experience will make you feel better, understood, and less isolated, which is good. Support groups are they're great. They're so great. Or your good friend counselor, as we said in the previous episode. Number 5, practice mindfulness. Mindfulness practices like meditation, deep breathing, or simple mindfulness exercises can help keep you grounded. For example, if you're feeling overwhelmed with the pace of your new job, practicing deep breathing for a few minutes each day can help you center your thoughts and reduce anxiety. Set realistic goals. Setting realistic goals, number 6, can give you a sense of direction and purpose during these transitions. Number 7, keep a journal and focus on the positive affirmations. Number 8, create a self care plan. Number 9, embrace the change. And number 10, seek expert help. That was a very helpful article by Square Behavioral Health LLC. And since we're talking about that, navigating your mental health, while life changes, moving. Be Live and we have moved several times, and the first time I moved away from South Carolina, I wasn't as nervous. I should have been, but I guess I was 20 years old. I'm gonna be out here young and getting it, but I acclimated to northern New Hampshire pretty well. 4 years later, I had to move back home, and anxiety wasn't high. It was just, it's amazing how things can be different in a 4 year period of time. And then moving to Atlanta, it wasn't that much. Moving to Ohio, I don't want to say I had some concerns, but I was like, you know what, man, you just have to develop a new routine and just figure everything out. And luckily, the person I was with at the time, she really kept me grounded and really helped me out on that as well too. So Be Live, full transparency. So the day I hang up my no slips in my apron from the service industry, will I have anxiety? Probably not. Will I have stress? Probably not. I'm not going to say I'll be free from anxiety and free from stress, but I'll just be free from the stories I've told you. Be Live. I'll be free from that. It'll go from you know higher ups watching your every single move and talking about you and doing all this stuff to moving into something that's a little bit more fast paced. And especially like what I'm doing at the station now, working behind the scenes with the video live stream, and also at the magazine publishing company. Spoiler alert. See, a lot of people don't know that. See, everybody business ain't nobody business. Like my pastor say, hey, don't tell them about it till it's time for it to happen. Um, I know that I have to develop a routine. Things are going to change, and I have to embrace it. Now, from a mental health standpoint, I think making the change will be beneficial for me because I just feel that for me personally, um, the change needs to happen. You know what I'm saying? The change needs to happen. I'm 42. I'm not a spring chicken. I come home. I'm wearing compression knee sleeves. I got to put ice on my knees. I feel like I'm playing football in 2002 all over again. But it's just knowing, once again, realizing and recognizing that, hey, it's time to close a chapter. Will you be sad? I ain't gonna lie to you, not as much. I'll just say I'll miss the people more than I miss the work. If I will, I will say that. So I mean, yeah, trying to navigate, make things happen, and instead of getting that everyday money, now you got to realize, okay, that money's not coming to you every day. So how are you going to factor in your budget? Are you going to live above your means or below your means? It's a lot of preparation and thinking that goes into that, and for some, it will cause a level of anxiety. But what I do, I just look at everything I got, write it down, and make a plan and try my best to stick to it. I'm gonna veer to the left. I'm gonna veer to the right. But at the end of the day, as long as I got the good Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, my friends and you guys, my therapist, and the people that really care about me and in my corner, I know I'll be fine. Be Live. What say you?
Well, I can tell you from my own experience of leaving the service industry, um, and this is actually two tiers. There
Uh-huh.
was where I left the money every day when I went from serving and bartending to managing.
Mm.
That was a big transition. And then when I made the decision to leave the service industry altogether, was another transition within itself.
Mm.
And I will start with the former because that's a huge transition. I believe that, and to be honest with you, because we talked a lot. I think that's been one of the things that sort of held you back from making that ultimate decision because that fast money is nice.
Boy,
It
man,
it it,
man,
it just is. There's no getting around that. As much as we try to
it, it,
talk around it,
it's nice, man. Like you go in there and like rent is due in 3 days. Your rent might be what? $950. You might have $700. In 3 days, you could probably knock down about, depending on how strong a server you are, anywhere between $400 to $600 in a
right.
matter of days.
Oh,
You know what I
just
mean?
like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's in. It's one of those things. I'm not even gonna call it a security blanket because it goes both ways.
Hmm.
I've been on both sides of that where I've lived so free care. I've been so carefree about it. My man, oh, rent's due in 3 days. I don't have. I got $50 to my name, and I know I'll make rent in 3 days because
Hmm.
I'm good like that. That's not a good way to live.
No,
But
not at all. Not at all.
but that was I was carefree like that, and I knew at some point in time, like I knew that my like I couldn't keep running, but to be honest, was running the streets like I was before
Mm-hmm.
because money in hand, and of course you're definitely way more mature than I was when I made that decision to leave the fast money behind and ground myself to a paycheck every couple weeks. Um, I I had a slight bit of anxiety, but I knew that I didn't want to live that. First of all, I didn't want to be in my 30s, 40s, whatever, and still be hoping that Mama Jean and a cousin and them would tip me well enough so I could and at the end of the day, the nostalgia and the novelty of it gets old. It really
Hmm.
does. I've seen some people that have done it, and they're nothing against them. And some of the nicest people I've ever met in the industry are well in age and doing their thing or whatever, and it keeps them active, it keeps them moving and grooving and showing and doing or whatever, and they're
Hmm.
amongst the best to do it. I just knew that wasn't me.
Yeah.
I was ready.
And be like, trust me, I understand. I'm like, I just don't want to be. I don't want to feel. I don't. I've been at this job for like 11 years,
I am.
and it's kind of like, damn, what the hell has happened these last 11 years? And be like, probably like around the last maybe year and a half, I've been plotting because I'm not gonna lie to you. Somebody's like, well, uh, because a lot of people be, because some of the guests ask me, have you ever thought about management? I said, man, I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm be completely honest with you. No. No.
It's a whole different beast. I can tell you that firsthand.
Mm,
And that was sort of my decision process when I decided to separate from the industry altogether. But you've
mm,
been putting together, and this is one thing I always applaud you for. You've been putting together a plan for years to
mm-hmm,
leave all this behind, to do something that is better tiered to what your personality is and to
mm-hmm.
what you want to do. And when I watched you walk the stage with your degree, I knew that was the beginning of something great.
Yep.
And so, and it's one of those things, it's all a matter of time. And piece by piece, I've seen you put your plan together. And one thing I know more than anything is that some things don't come fast. And we see we're so used to we live in a fast-paced world, especially in the service industry. We're
Mm,
so used to things coming to us quick, 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 quick. But in the industry that you wanted to get into, it takes time building blocks here, building blocks there, being that taking roles that you don't necessarily want to do, taking lesser roles that don't pay as much. It's like,
mm,
all right, I got to build a resume. I got to do this, but man, I need the money. So I still got to stick around with this. And so, man, I denied oh my goodness. Like I said, I've been off and on. I was in the service industry for 25 years.
Me too. Me too.
And people don't realize that about me because I'm only 42. But I started when I was 14 years old.
Hmm.
But there was a time when I went to school, computer science, didn't finish. All right, come back home, went back to school, computer science, didn't finish. All right, let's try again. Third time was dropping. Nope, still didn't finish. So I was like, man, this ain't gonna work. So I got to get back into what I know. Went back to but I worked in restaurants the entire time. Got to make money. It is what it is.
Mm.
But and I tried. I was like, all right, I'm gonna put in for stuff that pertains to computers. I'm gonna do contract work, something, anything that'll keep sort of what I want to do flowing. And it's still been a long process. I'm still not where I want to be, but I look back at those small little steps that I took, doing the contract jobs, like doing installs, doing tech work, doing remote work, doing stuff like that, and seeing that, whew,
Yeah.
it's rough. But one thing I can say about what I've seen you do and the progression I've seen you do is that you're one step away from it, and it's gonna be rocky at first because again, that is a motive, a source of income that you are so used to that is ingrained in you that when
Mm.
it's no longer there, you're like, well, I'd be dang, and then you get that. Oh man, I'll never forget my first paycheck when I was a manager. I was managing majority of the time, but I still had a couple bartending shifts.
Mm.
And the amount of money I made bartending, the taxes I had to pay on the money I made bartending, almost ate up my entire manager check.
Woo.
My paycheck was $40, and I thought, oh my, to the living God. I was like, wait a minute.
This ain't it.
That's I was so scared.
Mm.
The second that I went from part time to putting my all into managing,
Mm.
the checks flowed, the money was there, and my habits changed.
Yeah.
I had to change my priorities, where as opposed to, oh, I'll make it back tomorrow. I was all right. My my $60 to $80 bar tabs, $100 bar tabs a night went to 20 and 40.
Hmm.
Guess what? That made me just a little bit healthier. Cause you know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Like, and it comes with growth, it comes with time. And
Mm.
so next thing I know, not only was I able to survive making less, for you think I made less money as a manager than I did bartending and serving. I
Mm.
made less money, but I was able to maintain because I just made a slight adjustment. And then next thing you know, I had the confidence in the ability to be like, hey, you know what? I'm gonna take it to the next level. I'm going to pack up. I'm gonna seek an opportunity outside of my comfort zone and
Yep.
left home completely. And just got married, all the things, and you're like, so you're right there with me.
Yeah, I was out there for it. Yeah, I remember all
I
that.
was like, and then next thing you know, I realized I got my own 2 bed, 2 bath apartment with my wife, working as a manager, and I didn't miss it one bit.
No, I get it, man. Trust me. I've already prepared myself. Like, all right, Ed. Here's your means. Live here. Don't go too far here, and don't go below there. But also treat yourself from time to time. So it's just having like an effective plan, and then like you said, be live like from as somebody, because I'm not gonna lie to you. When we start the Sports Rules podcast, you know who I was living with, and I would record our podcast out of the closet.
You
So because it was a place of peace, and so it went
remember
from
the Chewini?
Chewini running.
I was I was
Yeah,
struggling at the beginning. Shoot.
yeah. We were all at that place, and so it was just like trying to, okay, like you needed this, you need to do that, and so I guess I just finally decided to apply myself a little after the pandemic because I don't want to use the death of my mother and my brother as a crutch, but it did something to me. I'm not gonna front. It did do a little something to me. So I had to reacclimate myself to that. Them not being there, getting therapy, and trying to find the balance, And then, Vince McKee back in 2021 gave me a shot with Kimo Sports Media Group, and probably maybe a few months, like midway through the football, or towards the end of the football season, Dave Rivera, the sports director at OBL WDLW Radio, assistant sports director. He saw my work on Twitter. I remember sitting at my house. I think it was Black Friday of 2021. I had a meeting with him and Don Vincent, the sports director, and the rest, as they say, is history. And so now, my other job, Eli, which I'll go ahead and say, I work at Field Steel Publications, and that's going good. And there's some more great stuff going on too. So everything's finally coming into fruition. Everything's finally coming to fruition, and like navigating my mental health through that is real important because there's changes. There's changes because it's like, okay, the riffraff I told you about at the serving job, I'm not gonna give them their name. The riffraff I told you, I go through it. I'm like, man, I deserve better than this. This is and I told one of my coworkers the other night, I said, you know I'm smiling all the time because I'm not here 5 days a week. Why? Because I have options. If they don't schedule me a Friday, all right, cool. Let me go to this job and pick this up, and let me see what we got going on at the station. Where we're doing like a live stream event, and I can film some stuff and get some more. And like a lot of people, they always try to tell me, I told somebody the other, I'm like, yeah, I'm getting business cards. They say, what about the money? I was like, how about this? I'm at the point I'm not going to tell part of my language be like, but I ain't going to tell people shit moving forward because the money doesn't equate to the business card because it's a simple fact that, hey, I'm more serious about it. I'm getting a business card. Like
Right.
this is what I'm doing. The business card can help, can help with a lot of things. Get my name out, get my face out. People know who the hell I am, as opposed to somebody's like, oh, well, money. And I say like this. I forgot where I heard. I heard Charlemagne said it, but I think he said Oprah said it, but don't quote me to it. Every opportunity does not have a paycheck attached to it.
Right.
That opportunity can get you to the places to get you to the paycheck that you want. And another thing, if people share something with you, be right there in the moment with them. Don't be going all over the place. Just be right there in the moment with them. And so, yeah, so that's how I feel about it. I'm like, I'm just every day, it's just moving up. And people that I'm not even think that are watching me, they like, man, I see you over there, man. I see you doing something. I ain't doing. I ain't doing nothing. I mean, I don't downplay, but I see it too. But but thankful, acknowledging me, and I appreciate it.
My biggest takeaway from this topic and what we've been talking about is that with each transition, take something with it, learn something, apply it, and continue to build on what you're doing. And good Lord, I got enough transitions to build a mansion. But
man, you do.
And the thing about it is, at the end of the day, I take each transition, I teach each change, and I like, hey, what did I learn from this? What did I gather from this? And I keep applying it to what I'm doing now. And next thing you know, it's all beginning to come into fruition. And I use the changes that you've seen in the past couple of weeks with all the podcasts, the Sports Pros podcast.
Yeah.
I'm trying to hey, this is the time. This is the time to I'm building a portfolio. I've seen my two brothers do major things within the same media, like the media mass communication, which y'all been working on, which y'all went to school at and everything. Now is my time to apply some of those things.
We try to, as they say, the wrestling business, we're trying to get you the rub, kid, trying to get you the rub.
And so, I mean, at the end of the day, with each transition, I tell everybody out there that my listeners, our subscribers, our viewers, whatnot, just build upon it. Take something with you each transition, learn from it, build, step up, and continue to do what it do. Press on, press forward. Always press forward. With that being said, Zoom is yelling at us like it normally does. But man, I'm always thankful to share this time with you with the Wellness Check Wednesdays podcast. And to each one of our listeners, each and every Wednesday, and any day that you need it, always and forever. Let's check in. We'll talk to y'all next week. Keep pushing forward, baby. We out.
Stick, stay. Don't you dare go away.
Thank you for listening to the Wellness Check Wednesdays podcast. Please join us every week, Wednesdays on Zoom at 6 p.m., and join our Facebook group for updates and to participate. We care about your mental health, So let's check in.